Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. I want to give a special thank you to CPC Aesthetics and Wellness and all of you who participated in their food drive. They were able to deliver 176 pounds of puppy food to the shelter last week, which was much needed. So again, thank you to everyone who participated. We also want to start this segment with our Viewer Pet of the Week. So we've got Tug Jennings, who will pop up in a second, right before we show our available Pet of the Week. And I believe Tuck's going to be coming up on the screen here in a second. And there he is. He is obviously not available. He's perfectly happy where he is. But if you want to send a picture of your pet in, then you can send it to the station, and we will have that email pop up during the segment so that you will know where to send a picture of your pet. There it is, daybreaktv47@gmail.com. And then our next pictures coming up are our available dog of the week. We have Tabitha, who is at the shelter. She's been at the shelter since she was 9 months old, and she's now a little over a year old. There she is. From all of the volunteers have told me she is a very sweet dog. I have pictures of her with kids, pictures of her riding in the car to go get spayed. So she is spayed, and she is heartworm negative. So if you are interested in Tabitha, give the shelter a call. Make sure you take her out to the playpen where she is right there, because she does get really excited in her kennel, and you'll get to see more of her personality if you take her out and let her run around and participate with you in the playpen. She does look like a really sweet dog. All right, so our special guest today is Joan Morris. She's one of the volunteers with Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. She's well known in the animal rescue community and well loved in that community. Joan, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So for those people who aren't in the animal rescue community, tell our viewers a little bit about who you are.
Well, Joan Morris, like she said. I'm a retired RN. I'm originally from the state of New Jersey. We moved down here around 1970, 1971, because my mother-in-law got very sick with cancer. And so we've just stayed here since then. I did industrial nursing out at Bonnet, and then I went and worked at the Marble City Nursing Home, where I met another nurse who wanted to go back to nursing school, and she talked me into going with her. And so I ended up graduating from Sylacauga Hospital School of Nursing in '84. And I guess I've walked on hard concrete floors for a long time. And then my husband passed away, but before he did, he got sick and stuff. My granddaughter moved into an apartment complex, and there was a lot of cats there, and they were multiplying.
Okay.
And she talked to different agencies and couldn't get any help. So the Tractor Supply people gave her the cages. I think she had to rent them for such a length of time, and she trapped these cats. She did a little fundraiser thing to get money to help with fixing it. The family helped too. And I think she got some vouchers from Feral Dogs, PetSmart that time, Pet Sense, and got some of them done that way.
Okay.
Anyway, the owner said cats were okay as long as they weren't multiplying. The residents feed these cats. And she said there was one gentleman, she thought that was his only exercise for the day, coming down the stairs and then going back up. So all the cats at that complex are fixed. And before she left, one of the ladies had fixed up a little area in the back of her patio so they'd have shelter during bad weather and stuff. And I've got 4 children, and I've got 5 wonderful grandchildren, and they've all got good education, except the last one just graduated.
Okay.
And they're up in Michigan.
Okay.
And they have a golden retriever, because we had golden retrievers. I think that's why my daughter wanted another one. And he was tragically killed. He broke his chain because some female in heat went through the yard with a pack of dogs following, and he broke his chain and followed this pack. And the train engineer said he would have made it, jumping across the track, because it's a hill and a hill, and except for his chain was dragging, and that's what caught the engine, the cow catcher.
Okay.
And so my husband was out there, and the engineer had a shovel and was fixing to bury our dog when we found him. And the vet, Dr. Mullen, was so good about that, he sent us a condolence card. I still have that card in my refrigerator.
That is so nice. And Dr. Mullen is so good with all the help he does with feral dogs.
Yes,
because, you know, Joan helps with transport with feral dogs too. And all those dogs that go on transport have to have those help certificates.
Yes, they do.
And Dr. Mullen is one of the vets in town that helps quite a bit with those help certificates. And Joan, you are definitely talking about the problem with spay and neuter. I mean, you had a tragedy with your dog from that, and your granddaughter experienced that with all of the cats at her apartment complex. So those spay and neuter vouchers that you were talking about are available year-round at Mutt Cuts. And then at different times of year, they do have a reduced price, but Mutt Cuts is at 210 Calhoun Avenue, and Missy Turner there is always happy to help and make sure that she has those available for you so that we can help with the spay and neuter problem in this area, and we can reduce the number of cats and dogs on the streets.
The area where I lived in Julesburg is near the high school. We had numerous dogs and cats dropped off there, and the last one was Max. Dr. Mullins had to treat his eye because as a puppy somebody kicked him and he had an eye injury. And he's still living. My other daughter has him now. He has arthritis. He can hardly move around. He's deaf. He's blind. But
But I bet he's happy now.
Yes, he's got a good home.
So how did you get into the volunteer world of feral dogs?
I think I can blame that on my granddaughter Deanna. She informed me of some kind of a notice on Facebook. Grandma, you're home now. You got to have something to do. You need to volunteer somewhere. And Carolyn said I answered this ad to transport this very sick dog from the shelter to the vet. And that's how I got started with that. And I am more available, I think, than most people because I don't have a full-time job anymore. And so I'm there if they need me. If they catch me in time, I like to sleep late in the morning now. I deserve that after all these years. And, you know.
Well, I certainly see on Facebook, with the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill, they have different Facebook groups where they can get together volunteers to do things. And I see Joan hop to the rescue on the transport thread all the time. If they ask for somebody to take a dog to the vet or to get dogs from the vet, or that Joan is right there ready to go.
Well, so sometimes I'm not available, you know.
She's available most of the time. She's being very humble about this. Now, let's talk a little bit about that importance of having somebody to transport those dogs. So there's so many different areas of feral dogs where people can help. And you know, what are some of the things you've done with transport over the years?
Mitzi needed someone to transport a van full of dogs. There must have been at least 10 dogs in there, different sizes, down to Clanton, where they met another transport and filled it up with dogs from several other places that went up to like Massachusetts or Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, where they got better homes. One of their rescues is really fabulous. They take that's important to Terry, having someone to help her on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock to take pictures of these dogs and stuff, because then they network those pictures. And a lot of those dogs already have a potential adopter before they're transported off. So that's really wonderful, because I broke into tears with little Cooper. He was a little Chihuahua. He's 2 years old, and he was just, so you could tell he wanted somebody to. And I broke into tears when he went to his little rescue van.
Yeah, I bet you get connected with them so much.
And it didn't take long. Usually you foster for about 10 days. And the Friends of Feral Dogs will provide you with the food. You need a tarp to protect your floor. They'll give you a little kennel or a crate to put them in. And they provide their medicines. So all the dogs are tested for health certificates. They're dewormed and everything. They're really healthy when they leave.
So we got some pictures up of you right now volunteering with the different dogs.
That was my, forget her name right now, but yeah, I cried with her going too.
Yeah, I bet you did. And we got some pictures. Let's talk really quickly about your this picture here. Every February, Feral Dogs has a campaign. I helped Shelter Dog's Heart. And I know you are very crucial with that, with going around and getting donations and helping with that. So tell us a little bit about that, and then...
Okay, there I am with the manager of Renaissance Bank in Julesburg, Miss Grove, Janice Grove, and she put it up in her bank lobby for people
Okay.
to make donations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So certainly look for that every February.
Yes.
And anytime you want to do a donation, a lot of the animals that come to the shelter are heartworm positive, unfortunately, and that's a very expensive treatment for them to have, but there are definitely ways to help. And Joan, you help so much. We could talk for an hour with all the things you do. I'll have to have you back on so we can show your pets and the things that you've done with them.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for everything you do in the animal rescue community. Even though you didn't grow up here, I think we can claim you now with everything you do for the community and being here for so long. So we appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.
And make sure you join us next week. We'll have Nicole Shaw from Our Healing Hands Massage Therapy. She'll be visiting the show here and telling us about her experiences in animal rescue. And also don't forget that we have Butts for Mutts coming up.
Yes.
It's a fundraiser for the shelter and the Sylacauga shelter, as well as the new Coosa County shelter, where you can buy some barbecue from, there it is, from Good Old Boys. You can get Boston butt and some ribs, and you can get that from any of the volunteers. Joan has information about it. Missy at Mutt Cuts has information about it. You can go to the Facebook page also, that's Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill and Friends of Sylacauga Animal Shelter, to get more information about that. And thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.